Good afternoon, friends. I'm Ms. Natalie from the Accokeek branch of Prince George's County Memorial Library System, and welcome to Crafternoon. Today's Crafternoon is going to be space themed. We are going to be making creatures from another planet. I have made a creature right here as an example. We're going to need a couple other things. We're going to need a pool noodle. Now, I don't know about you, but I didn't spend nearly as much time at the beach or at the pool this summer, so I've got this pool noodle. I got it at the dollar store. I'm going to do crafts with it. I cut it into littler pieces. I think that you should have your grown-up do that for you. In order to make the arms, legs, the tail, we are going to need some pipe cleaners. I've got a little package in a few different colors here. For eyes, I've got googly eyes. Mine are self-adhesive. You can also just glue yours on. I think I glued these on right here. In order to cut the pipe cleaners, we're going to need a pair of scissors. Now, pipe cleaners have this little piece of metal in the middle, and that's not something that's real good for your scissors, so don't use your family's good scissors for this. Definitely use kids' craft scissors or some pair of scissors that your grown-ups say is okay. That's pretty much all you need, but you can see I made a little sign for this guy. So we're going to make an optional sign with a piece of paper and a Sharpie. Now, when people make creatures from outer space, they frequently just make people and then make them a different color. But we're going to add some randomness to the features and the limbs of our alien. So I have taken the liberty of making a little chart here. We are going to roll a die to see how many legs, how many arms, how many eyes, how many wings, how many antennae, and I'm just going to put on one tail because I have decided that is my favorite look. Let's see. Only one leg. Looks like our guy's going to be a hopper. Only one arm. 4 eyes. Oops. 4 wings. That must be how he gets around. And 1 antenna. Well, let's set to work. I've made 2 different sizes. One's going to be the grown-up and one's going to be the kid. And we're going to do this for each of them. I'm going to take a look at my different supplies here and see what colors look good. I think we're going to go with some yellow for these arms and legs. Now, the reason that we are using pipe cleaners and pool noodles is because the pool noodle has a porous texture. It's foam and it's got little gaps all through it, and there's a little piece of wire running through your pipe cleaner so that it sticks right in. A lot like the way the old Mr. Potato Heads used to work, back when you had to supply your own potato and they just handed you a bunch of facial features and said stick them in there. So we are going to make a little leg. This one here, I gave him a little knee going up here, a little ankle and a little foot. I think I'm going to do that same thing. I'm going to double it up for sturdiness. I'm going to fold a little foot and then I'm going to fold a little knee. I'm just going to stick that in the side of my guy here. Then I'm going to do an arm. It's going to be the same length. I'm using the same length of pipe cleaner and folding it in half for sturdiness again. I'm going to stick that in there, give him a little elbow, sticking his arm up saying hey. Next on our list, eyes. Now they could go anywhere. This fellow is from outer space, and who knows how he does. So I'm going to put them in a little diamond pattern here, because I think that looks pretty cool. And I still have 4 left over for the baby in a little while. Now we're going to do some wings. I think this time I'm going to make red wings, and he does get 4 of them. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to give him round bumblebee kind of wings. I'm going to turn them around so they're in the back. And I'm going to put this in at an angle so that it keeps being round. Oops. And he does get 4 of them, because that is what the dice said we had to do. I'm not going to argue with the dice. I'm going to try to make them pretty symmetrical, have it be the same on both sides. Although I suppose he's not going to be perfectly symmetrical because of the 1 arm and 1 leg thing that we rolled up too. Maybe where he comes from, the arms and legs are mostly decorative and they just do most of their business with their wings. Yep, that looks pretty even. And then 1 antenna, I'm going to make that guy white. And same way I did with this one, I'm going to make them curly. I'm going to do that by curling it around my finger. Then I'm going to pull it out a little bit so it's nice and springy. I'm going to put this so it faces down so it can stick right in there. Looks kind of like hair. Like when you've got a baby and they just have that tiny little bit of hair coming out of there. Now that's everything we rolled. 1 leg, 1 arm, 4 wings, 4 eyes, and that comical single antenna. But I'm going to give him a little bit more of a face too. I'm going to take some red, I'm going to cut a little bit off, I'm going to give him a mouth. I'm going to give him a little smile like this. And then so it sticks in, I'm going to bend it back up at the top. So it's this horseshoe shapey kind of deal with these 2 prongs that go in. And I'm just going to set that in there. Little orthodontal work needed. There we go. Now he's even. Very nice. You know what? I think I'm going to re-roll for this child, because it's all well and good for the grown-up of this species to have 1 arm and 1 leg, but I kind of want this little kid space creature to be, I don't know, somebody with maybe 6 arms and 6 legs. We'll have to see what the dice says. 2. Five. Good heavens. Same 4. Only 1 wing. Maybe they grow wings when they're teenagers or something. Oh my goodness. And 5 antennae. All right. Here we go. So for this little fellow, I think I'm going to move this part on the bottom. He's going to get 2 legs. I think instead of doubling them up, I'm going to make these very long legs, like that. That first knee was pointy. I need to make this knee pointy too. Is that about the same? Yeah. And then 5 arms. Since he's got so many arms, I think I'll make those a little bit shorter. I'm going to take some of these and I'm going to cut them in half. give him a little bit of a hand at the end. And then one more hand, because he does get 5 arms. And this one just comes out of the side too. There we go. Now this one also gets 4 eyes. And this time I think I'll line them up. Very nice. I love a googly eye. Just the one wing. Oops, I think I made those wings red. So I'm going to give him just one. Maybe these space creatures get excited when their first wing comes in. They're like, guys, take a look. Look, I can not quite fly, but I can flutter a little bit, and it's so cool. And then 5 antennae. I think that the kids in this species like to dye them fun colors. And then they go to school and their teacher's like, oh man, these kids these days with their purple hair and whatever fun video games they play on this planet. All right, so that's what we rolled for. Now I'm going to give him a little mouth. Oh yeah. And I said I was going to give them each a tail. And they're all going to get a beautiful turquoise tail. It's going to curl up like a snail shell, like that. Lovely. And that stays the same when they grow up. Beautiful. Lovely family reunion. And it took pretty much no effort to put these guys in the pool noodle. You buy one pool noodle, you're going to get like 10 lengths of this. And it's reusable. You pull this out and you can just stick it in another place and that'll be fine too. It's kind of like a do-it-yourself Mr. Potato Head. Except in this case, it's do-it-yourself reusable creatures from another world. Now this guy does have a sign. Greetings, Earthlings. So I think I am going to make a sign here too. These aliens, though, they don't speak English. This is in English. These aliens have their own language. I'm just going to make it up right now. Yes. I have no idea what that says, but I'm sure it says something very kind and uplifting for the other aliens. All the space creatures are like, oh yeah, Steve, he's so quotable, look at his sign. So these are the aliens that we have made, our beautiful space creatures. I don't know what planet they're from. I would like to visit it because they look like they're having a good time. Thank you guys so much for joining me for Crafternoon today, and we'll see you later. Bye!